My name is Aninia, and I'm really passionate about breathing. And I decided that I want to make a little series of videos introducing my view and use of breathing. I took a walk with Ben this week, and one of the subjects we came across in our coaching conversation was breathing. And while it was great for me to have the opportunity to talk with him and get some clarity on where I want to invest my energy in the next couple of months, I realized how much I love to have breathing as a tool, because I now have so much energy to invest. And I have in the past years often thought that it would be so great if attention to breathing were a more commonly known tool for people. So here I am. I'm normally a fan of doing something, touching people or being next to people. And I feel less comfortable talking about the subject generally, because I actually would like to make individual adjustments to smaller groups or to the person that I'm in front of. But in the case of attention to breathing, I so much want this to be out there that I now sit here and talk into a camera. As I said, I feel like I benefited a lot from learning to paying attention to breathing in everyday life. I was very active in a volunteer organization for many years. I worked in theater, and I'm generally passionate about working with people. And in some of these places, I already learned about breathing in specific situations. I was doing things I really enjoyed, and mostly surrounded by great people. But still, with that knowledge and with this passion, I managed to be totally exhausted at some point and overwhelmed. And I can see the same thing happening with great people I know today, friends or clients who are totally passionate about their work or their organization, their family. And at some point, everything just is too much. Or everything's fine, but there are also all kinds of small and large symptoms that don't get attention because there's not enough time to take care of everything. And it can feel so overwhelming to change anything or to create that silence that you're supposed to have and take breaks or train or enjoy. Which is why I found it so great when breathing can become part of everyday life and you can gain energy while you do what you do. And I think this is the one thing I really believe in from my experiences, and that I experienced it with other people also, is that when we have more energy, we get more silence in our mind. We get more space in the head. We can deal with all the different things that are going on better, with more time to think or more energy to act, depending on what is necessary. You might know this feeling too. When you're well and have energy, it's much easier to achieve what you want. It's easier to deal with a mistake, my own or the others, to find new solutions. It's easier to say stop and to stand in for what you value. And it's also easier to heal from loss or pain. It's easier to deal with frightening things and easier to share when you are not exhausted or very worried for your survival. Or, when you're not at the limit of your own capacity. Which brings me back to my intention. I would like to give or to share this really great tool of breathing. Very, very simple thing. I have, since I started practicing body attention, learned many useful skills. The most simple and powerful one to deal with many different situations still stays attention to and variations of breathing. I know that there are lots and lots of different schools out there of how to breathe right or how to breathe better. But somehow many of those, at least the ones I came across, made it to some kind of spiritual act or something that you can do right or wrong, or simply it's something that's connected to a specific activity and not so much for everyday life, like for singing or for running or for meditation. And I want to introduce a different perspective. I don't want to throw out all the other rules or say that the other teachers are wrong, because I don't know. But I want to introduce the thought that these rules are fitting to specific situations. And there are millions of other ways of breathing that could be working for you when you want to gain more energy or when you want to be more calm. Sometimes even the general rule for a specific situation or activity doesn't apply for you. So instead of pushing with the whole body and making a lot of effort when you're trying to breathe through your belly and force it that way, maybe it's a good step first to start by focusing on the feeling of movement when you breathe. And reducing effort instead of creating more effort in the attempt to breathe through your belly or do it right. And just focus on the sensation of movement. Maybe if it's hard for you to breathe through your nose, a good start could be to breathe more often inhaling through the mouth. Just increase the amount of inhalations or the times you inhale per minute. When I talk with people about breathing, they often say one of these things. Yeah, I breathe totally wrong. Or I have no idea how I breathe while I concentrate. Probably not at all. I only breathe up to here. I know I should breathe more into the belly. I breathe normal. Talking about it seems to provoke a defense sometimes. Whatever they're doing or what they're going to say is already wrong, and they're looking for what should be the right thing to do. So what I want to offer here, and what has been a great tool for myself, is starting with a description of the breathing, of the habits in a situation. Instead of starting with a rule to how it should be, to start with a description of how it is. And then play with that, making changes and see what comes out of that. When you're lying there in bed and you can't sleep because your head keeps on turning and turning with some kind of thought, do you hold your breath? After inhaling or after exhaling? Do you breathe quickly? When you're falling asleep in the movies or in a lecture that you actually would like to follow, do you breathe slow or fast? How long do you inhale? How long do you exhale? Is there a break in between the two? When something hurts while you stand up, how is your breath? For today, this is what I want to end with. I want to give a first introduction and open up the option that it could be there are more things that you can achieve with breathing in everyday life. So instead of justifying what you do or checking where you go wrong, start with noticing what you're actually doing while you do the dishes or tie your shoes, and then make it something accessible. Because breathing is something we all do to live anyways. And like when we pay attention to what we eat, also what or how we breathe can make a difference in how we feel. Yeah. I will send a few posts in the next couple of weeks with some more thoughts and concrete examples of how breathing could be done differently or less complicated, and in which way you could play with your breathing. And if you're interested, then you're welcome to follow. I'm also open for any question or suggestion, so please let me know. Have a great day.